Now, as you may well be aware already, West Ham United have drawn Tottenham away in the League Cup, in the quarterfinals. Say League Cup, Carabao Cup, EFL Cup, as some call it now. It's the League Cup, as far as I'm concerned. We were never going to get an easy draw in that round. Actually, I tell a lie. We could have got Sunderland, which might have been a nice one for us to get. Might have been a nice one for David Moyes to get, bearing in mind he's got history with that club, and maybe not so much prove a point, but maybe he might have been able to right a few wrongs over that particular chapter of his career. But by and large, if you're through to the quarter-final in a tournament, you can't expect an easy game. But I don't mind this. I don't mind facing Tottenham. I don't mind facing Tottenham away. Not just because we've already played Tottenham in their own stadium and beaten them there. I think we were the first team. I was there actually. Mikel Antonio goal. Lots of memes and lots of gifs were made up afterwards about Antonio defecating in Tottenham's new stadium. Let's put it that way. And of course, we've just beaten them very recently as well. Actually, I was there at that one. I must be a lucky charm. I'll have to make sure I go. I'm not bothered about that, but not just because of that. Because of the way the fixture congestion has built up around it. So it gets played in December. The exact date has not been chosen yet, and I'll tell you why. Because it's television. They've not decided. But one thing I do know is, it falls in between the games for us. We played Norwich, which we definitely do play on a Saturday. That's been confirmed. Then we played Tottenham. So we played Norwich at home. So we're in London anyway. Then we played Tottenham away, and Tottenham's new stadium is still in London, just about. I joke. So then we play Tottenham, and then we play Southampton at home. So there's no travel for us. There's no travel for Tottenham either. But you would suggest, or I would suggest at least, that playing against Norwich should be a reasonably easy game, I would hope. Southampton, we ain't got a bad record against Southampton, let's be honest, and I don't think Southampton are as good as they were, let's put it that way. For Tottenham, it's very, very different. So I'd also say that by this point, I think will have qualified. The group stage will have been over in Europe. Hopefully we've qualified by that point, which we will have done. Tottenham, it's going to be harder to say. They're going to have to scrap right up until the very last minute. And they've got a packed December, by the way, because I think it may well come down to their last game, which is on December the 9th, to get through in Europe. I don't think anymore that they can rely on their position in the league to qualify for Europe. But they're going to be putting all their eggs in one basket in terms of the league. I certainly think that anyway. I know I've contradicted myself there, but I think it's going to get to a point where I don't think they'll be able to afford to really go for it in the League Cup. And we've already seen what we've done to their first team. I'm pretty sure we can certainly beat their reserve team as well. They're running though. Their fixtures that they're sandwiched either side of the League Cup game against us, is they are playing Liverpool. Now that's going to be a big game. So just before they play that League Cup game against us, they're going to be playing Liverpool. Now I don't even need you to answer the question. What are they going to do? Are they going to play Kane and Son and all those good players against Liverpool or against us? He might do both, but I would suggest he's not going to. He's going to do it against Liverpool because they can't afford to lose any more points in the league. That's for sure. They got quite a tough little run-in coming up, actually, Tottenham. I've already mentioned Europe. Anyway, straight away after that, so then they play Liverpool, they play us, and then they play Crystal Palace. It's another London derby. It's not going to be an easy game. Palace are no pushovers at the moment. They're playing good football, fast football. I was a little bit unsure about Patrick Vieira. I've got to be honest there, Crystal Palace, but he seems to be doing a really, really good job. They've brought young players, fizzed the ball around a lot, attack a lot. They've got a reinvigorated Christian Benteke, and they're going to be taking that league game really seriously. My point is both Liverpool and Crystal Palace games are massive, massive games for Tottenham. Tottenham are going to want to try and get into the top 5 or 6 places in the Premier League, so those games are important. Then they've got to face us. In many respects, our job is almost done. Europe is done. We're in the quarterfinals of the Cup, and we're doing pretty well in the league. I mean, obviously our next little run is not easy. Don't get me wrong. And today we got a match against Aston Villa, which I'll deal with in a second. I understand things can flip around just on the results this weekend. We lose to Aston Villa, Tottenham win, then it's a little bit different. But I'm not entirely sure that's going to happen. So I don't mind this draw in the League Cup. I don't mind it at all. Bring it on. And sometimes it's always sometimes it's always easy to look at how the draw feels for you, but I'm not entirely sure how well Tottenham are going to think this is going to benefit them. I bet the last team Tottenham wanted to draw out that hat was West Ham. I mean, really, I bet nobody wants to play us at the moment. I'll get onto that in just a second. Before I do, this video is sponsored by the One Football app. The One Football app, which is downloadable by clicking the link below, download it to your mobile phone. It's free, by the way. Will be full of news about West Ham Tottenham. And also, today, we've got the match today. If you go and click onto the app an hour before kick-off, it'll have both team lineups, both West Ham and Aston Villa. It'll have all the stats from the game. It'll have all the takeover talk. Everything you need, but all your West Ham news is going to be in there. Just click the link below. In terms of Tottenham and other clubs looking at West Ham and not wanting to draw us, honestly, I'm telling you now, it'd be the last thing that they want. Not just Tottenham fans, it'd be the last thing Daniel Levy wants, the last thing Nuno wants as well. And I think he might be caught between a rock and a hard place, because I don't think the Tottenham fans, are going to particularly want him to rest the players against us in the League Cup, which means he's going to have fixture congestion. Whereas I know and you know that David Moyes is going to be shuffling his deck, and he'll shuffle his pack very, very well indeed. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait for this. You know, bring it on. Absolutely bring it on. Talking about David Moyes, and particularly ahead of today's game against Aston Villa, I was loving what he was saying about Aaron Cresswell in particular, and about how Aaron Cresswell is continually working on his delivery and on his set plays, and they're going to look to improve it. And I just thought about Aaron Cresswell, actually, and I know I've spoken about him quite a lot recently. And I listened to Declan Rice speak about Cresswell as well, and I thought about it, and bearing in mind I did the form of West Ham over the last sort of 18 months, 2 years, which is because of COVID, it's 2 years, but it's sort of 18 months worth of football if you want season and a half of football. I do wonder if there is a better left back consistently over the whole season and a half that I'm talking about since lockdown, since Project Restart in football. Now, don't get me wrong, I think Chilwell had a really little good run on it. I think Luke Shaw was really good for a period, but actually consistency. Now, David Moyes said that Cresswell, this is what David Moyes says in his press conference, don't know it, haven't checked it. David Moyes said Cresswell got 17 assists last season. Did he mean last season? Did he mean last year? I don't know. I don't know how accurate that is. But if that is the case, then that's phenomenal. I think the biggest thing about Cresswell was I'm not surprised to hear that. When I hear those stats, I don't think, oh, God, surely not. It's more like 5 assists. No, I was maybe a little bit surprised it was that high. But is there a better left-back consistently over that period of time? And I've got to say, even Robertson, who is a fantastic player, I'm not suggesting that Aaron Cresswell was a better player than Robertson at Liverpool. But Liverpool were crap for at least half a season, weren't they? Let's be perfectly honest with you. When they had no fans in the stadium, Liverpool were absolute crap. And I think Cresswell was better. And I looked at it and I listened to what Declan Rice was saying about Cresswell. And I thought, you know what, Declan Rice is obviously going to have a star-studded career. He's going to play with wonderful players at West Ham, wonderful players with England. If he goes and moves on, I'm sure whatever club he goes to, he'll play with other wonderful players. I do wonder if he'll ever play with a better left-back than Aaron Cresswell, though. I do wonder if Declan Rice gets to the end of his career and he has to do one of those things which make up the team of all the best players that you've played alongside. I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Cresswell's in there, and I do think he's that good. I think it's a nightmare to replace, as I mentioned earlier on. Yeah, earlier on this week, didn't I? One of the videos. I just think he's sensational. So bring it on for today. As I understand it, their goalkeeper Martinez is unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because his dad's very, very ill. It is unfortunate. Has had to go back to Argentina, which obviously, you know, has given West Ham more of an advantage because he's a hell of a goalkeeper. It's going to be a really, really interesting game. I think we're going to come out firing. I think we're going to come out highly motivated. Please do join myself and Gio an hour before kick-off. I keep saying tomorrow. I'm recording this the day before. I might even release this video later on tonight. So this video may come out Saturday night or whatever. In which case, just discount everything I've said about today and tomorrow and things like that. But in terms of the Aston Villa game, join myself and Gio an hour before kick-off. We'll be talking you through the teams, reading the lineups, doing a cheeky little bet, that sort of thing. Then Charlie for the watch along. Then myself and Gio straight away afterwards for instant post-match reaction. Hopefully we'll be buzzing like we were against Man City, but I can't imagine. I can't imagine being happier than I was against Man City just because I think the drama of the penalty shootout. They're horrible, aren't they? When you lose penalty shootouts, they're horrible. But when you win, when you go through, it's a special feeling. It's a bit like getting promoted. I know the playoffs have their critics, but going through via the playoffs is definitely the way to get promoted. I think there's all that glory. It's fantastic. I think whilst I could well do with get back to before I end the video, get back to Tottenham. I could well do with going through against Tottenham and without all the drama of going to a penalty shootout. Just go through in normal time would be absolutely fantastic. But I was absolutely buzzing. Man City was fantastic, and that will live long in the memory, won't it? That penalty shootout certainly. Moyes is crowing about it certainly. He's saying, "Oh, I'm sport for choice, and who's going to take the penalties for West Ham in future?" And I guess he sort of is. And as much as I do like Dawson, I think I still will be a little bit nervous in future if I see Dawson taking them. But I tell you what, just get back to it. To come full circle in the video. Aaron Cresswell, if he was our penalty taker, I wouldn't mind. Special player.